Welcome to TrekTrav. I'm Trav, and this is the review for Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 2, Disengage. And there's going to be spoilers, so go watch the episode and come back because you really need to watch the episode. First things, like, comment, subscribe. Anything would help. Maybe share it with a friend. So let's get started. I'm not going to recap the episode, but I'm going to talk about it. So I really enjoyed the character moments. I think Picard and Riker have got a really good flow going on. I think the episode itself was much more structured than the first episode. It felt like it had a beginning and a middle. It certainly felt like it was more consistently entertaining. Raffi's story finally got interesting. And let's just say that I was much more impressed with this than I was with the first episode. Now, that being said, there was a few things that were a bit weird, and I can't help but think about it, which is how its similarities to other Star Trek, like Nemesis and Wrath of Khan and Undiscovered Country. Like, there's just so many, let's take from here, take from there, take from here, which is fine. Star Trek's done that a million times over, but it's really important, I think, for a show to stand on its own. So, obviously, we're not getting a title theme. I thought maybe they just skipped it for the first episode, but we're not going to. I think Riker and Picard's relationship is the strongest aspect. I think Jerry Ryan is playing a really good role. I think she plays the frustration really, really well. I don't tend to... The captain of the Titan, he's an arrogant guy, but you can see him softening. I imagine we're going to have some sort of growth in that area. In terms of Jack Crusher, we see a young guy. He's weirdly English. And considering what comes up later on, weirdly English. Beverly is locked away for most of the episode. And it's an interesting play because Raffi's story is she doesn't believe the excuse that Starfleet's giving out for the destruction of the recruitment center. She's going to go hunt it herself. We get to see a Ferengi for, I think, like the TNG era Ferengi, and I'll talk a little bit about that in itself. The Ferengis in Discovery look different from the Ferengis in Next Gen and different from the Next Gen. The Next Gen looks more like these Ferengi. Like it was great Ferengi. It was a good role for Ferengi actually, like a drug dealer, smuggler sort of thing. My issue is if you have Discovery and Strange New Worlds of Picard being made at the same time, maybe have a little bit of continuity in the makeup. And I get that Discovery changed a few things. For me, this looked very TNG era Ferengi, and Discovery looked like an updated version, and it really didn't make sense tonally for me. I'm going, I get that they're in different times, but a consistency to the universe is kind of what we're missing. And on that same level, the one thing the set designers have done is created, with Strange New Worlds, the sets are massive. Other than the bridge, the sets are massive. In Discovery, the sets are massive. But in Picard, they're much more like the TNG era shuttles and ships. And I think that consistency is really good. Okay, let's get on to the plot. So the Raffi are trying to find out about this terrorist attack. I found that quite interesting. I was like, okay, I see where we're going. We all knew behind her handler was Worf. When he popped up at the end and he sort of tells her off. Worf kicked ass in this episode. I don't think I've ever seen him kick ass so consistently. I love seeing the blade going in and out. That sounds really, really gory, but I love seeing him stab and take down these people. I think it's important to show Worf in his strength. I think the worst thing about TNG is he always gets shown as a bit of a, beat up Worf to show how tough you are. I really enjoyed seeing him in there. In terms of Beverly, we only got a little bit of Beverly at the end. Jack Crusher, the actor who plays him, is brilliant. He kind of reminds me of a few English actors, actually. But he was really good. He sort of plays a smuggler, but he's also helping medical, and you can see he's a good actor, really good. He knows that Picard's his, spoiler alert, father, which I predicted. It's pretty easy. And it's interesting. There's a lot of nice slow scenes where Picard's talking to him. There's a lot of discussion about the situation. They all felt at a nice momentum. They all felt like it was a bit more understanding. And that moment at the end where Picard looks at Beverly and Beverly looks at him, I sat there and I went, oh my God, this is a beautiful moment. Like that, everything in that character, and the fact that all she had to do was sort of look away and look down to go, that's your son. I thought that was amazing. I was like, you know what? I don't mind that this is a bit weird that he named him after his dead best friend, but we'll ignore that. I get that Beverly, I don't know, I'd like to hear the explanation for Beverly keeping him away. I think that's a bit out of character for Beverly. I really enjoy that moment in a lot of senses. Like, it's really, really funny comparing this to season 1 and season 2. This is clearly a better written season in terms of how it's formatted in each episode. My problem with this season is it doesn't feel like Star Trek Picard. It feels like Star Trek The Next Generation, the reunion tour. I get why they've done that. I get that maybe it was just a way to draw back in viewers. I get that it's sort of earned in a way. My main issue is it's taking so much. Like the ship, it clearly looks like the ship from Nemesis. Christopher Plummer's daughter, I think it's Amanda Plummer, she very much is playing like she's eating that scenery. She's brilliant, by the way. Like, she's really good. But it's very like, I can tell that that's Christopher Plummer's daughter just from the acting. She was really good, and she sort of instills threat, which is great. And that was the one thing the episode built on, was tension and threat building up. Then they fly into a nebula for some more nebula fun. I mean, you don't need to reference a Star Trek movie with every scene, but apparently that's what's happening. So my honest to God review is this is a far better episode than episode 1. This is a far better storyline. It's much more flowy. My main issue with the series so far is I get that you want to bring back the nostalgia, but they're relying on it tons. Like there is no stopping this amount of nostalgia. Like I get it, and I don't understand why they keep calling Picard and Riker legendary. I get it. They saved Earth a few times. I understand that, but there's other captains on other ships. They all do similar things, and how like I get. The propensity for show writers now seems to be to create legendary characters who are amazing, and because that's what the audience sees in their mind. But I don't think that works. Like, I think having Admiral Picard respected, but Riker, other than being on the Enterprise, hasn't really shown that. I think that's where my issue is. It's like the whole crew was legendary, and I also just feel like they'd be good if they were just like respected as admirals and captains, but you don't have to call them legendary in the show. Like, you can say, oh, I loved your mission, sir. But they did that a bit with Captain Kirk in Star Trek Generations, and I understand that. My overall thoughts are that this show is certainly, I would say, certainly with this episode better than season 2 and season 1 in terms of just the flow of the show. I hope to see a lot more. I'm really excited now. First episode didn't get me there. This episode did. And I think it's because they built tension. They introduced our bad guy. We've got Worf kicking some ass. We've got Picard and Riker talking about the situation with the Captain of the Titan, with Seven. There was a lot more building done in this episode than there was in season 1, which was introductions, and I get that. I'm sorry about the hand gestures, by the way. It's a really good episode, and I hope you enjoyed it too, and I hope you come back for more TrekTrav reviews. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. So have a great day. You are fantastic, and I am TrekTrav, and this is my Star Trek Picard Season 3 Episode 1 review. Episode 2 review. Damn it.